Today I'm talking about Shane Meadows' 2004 British revenge thriller released by Second Sight Films on this incredible Blu-ray limited edition set, and I'll get into some more things later on about what makes this so incredible. But first, the film is an absolute standout. This is one that I had seen a couple of times before. Every time I watch it, I am drawn in almost instantly. It is compelling. The story feels really personal. It's kind of brutal, but not in a really showy way. It's funny in places, but it's never quite comfortable. It's small in scale, but emotionally it's huge, and that's what really drives this one forward. This is a revenge film stripped right the way down to its bones. A man is returning home, a group of small town bullies, his vulnerable brother, and it's left a mark on him that he can't walk away from. And that's what makes Dead Man's Shoes so effective. It understands that the revenge story here is not healing. It's damage continuing to spread and to fall out.
Gonna come and see me, are you?
Maybe I will.
You're not afraid of me, are you?
Paddy Considine is Richard, a former soldier who returns to his home in the Midlands with one thing on his mind: revenge. His younger brother, Anthony, played by Tony Cable, who is as good as Considine in this one, was tormented and abused by a group of local men while Richard was away. And he's always kind of interacting and talking to him, but you can see he feels really subdued and minimalised throughout this. Richard is definitely the dominant force within this pairing. And these men who were once powerful and cruel and untouchable in this small world suddenly realise something terrifying. The person that they were hurting has come back, and he's not happy about it at all. And that is the simple engine for the film.
He's one, bro.
But Dead Man's Shoes, it's not just about Richard picking them off one by one. It's about the guilt that he carries, the guilt of leaving his brother away, knowing he was vulnerable but taking a step away for his own life. It's about the memory of their relationship, of this town, how he has changed, how things have changed, about the brotherhood that people have, whether it be a camaraderie, a warm, embracing brotherhood, or whether it be a toxic idea of this group of people coming together because there's a little bit of power, and even though they don't like each other, they kind of gravitate towards that. It leans into that small town cruelty or the toxic masculinity. And it's the terrible realisation that violence can't really undo what's already been done.
Alan!
Paddy Considine is extraordinary here. It's one of those characters that feels so terrifying because, yes, he feels like he's in control, but barely. He doesn't need to shout all the time. He doesn't need to posture or act hard. He just walks into a room and you could almost instantly feel the temperature change. Considine gives him this quiet, focused anger that feels much more scarier than, say, a big explosive performance would bring. You know, Richard is funny in these little moments. He can be dry and sarcastic. In fact, some of the times he just feels downright casual. But underneath all that is this immovable grief and this quest for vengeance. He's already decided what he's going to do. And that's what makes him frightening. There's no second guessing it. There's no moral judgment here. There has been actions. There will be reaction to that. This is everything to him. Now, Toby Cable is great as well. And he is absolutely heartbreaking as Anthony. It's such a vulnerable performance, and it gives the film a real kind of soul.
No, I'm going to grow it anyway.
What are you growing it like?
I don't know, long hair.
Like Bon Jovi?
No.
Anthony's not just there to motivate Richard getting vengeance. He's the emotional centre of the film, and the way that Keble plays him, sweet, trusting, he's kind of open and frightened and kind of guarded at the same time. It makes everything that happens to him feel unbearable, and the film understands that the cruelty often targets the vulnerable, and that's what makes it really kind of upsetting. The men who hurt Anthony aren't criminal masterminds. They're small men, weak men, men who see an easy target, and it makes them feel big by picking on this person who isn't really capable of defending themselves.
1, 2, what is it? What do you want from me? I'm pleading.
And that's, it really kind of adds the heart to the film. Shane Meadows' direction here is really minimal and completely wonderfully controlled. It has this lived-in Midlands realism that makes everything recognisable. The small town, the derelict buildings outside of town or inside town, these people who live in each other's pockets and everybody knows each other's, the cramped rooms and the awkward conversations of people who have maybe moved beyond this small town but still trying to interact with people who've just stayed there and are now ingrained with the woodwork. It feels specific and it feels real. I really love the fact that it's revenge without the glamour. It doesn't make it this big showy Hollywood ideal. It doesn't make it like a cool revenge fantasy. It doesn't have that swelling music or the kills being super violent and stylish. It lets it stay simpler and more realistic and more impactful because of that. You know, Richard is terrifying, and part of you really understands his anger and sympathises with him. But it also questions, is this justice worth it? You know, is this another outpouring of grief and vulnerability within this one? Is it because of the brothers' relationship? Is that what makes Richard such a sympathetic character while still being a little bit repulsive at the same time? It's the bond between these two, and you have that feeling that Anthony is a really put down character throughout the film. He's always internal and within himself. Whenever he's around about Richard, he's kind of minimalised, and whenever some of the bullies turn up, he kind of fades into the shadows, but he's always there. He's this lingering character throughout the film of things that have happened, and things are happening now because of that as well.
They just wanted to hold my hand, didn't they, mate?
Yeah, didn't they? They all held your hand. I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I love the idea of this small town horror, and I think that for me, what works really well is the emotional simplicity within this one. It's not overcomplicated, and it doesn't need to be. A brother returns, a wrong has been done, and there's a price to pay. That's simple enough, but there is so much subtext and there's so much layered into it with the emotional context with the characters that really takes a simple premise and adds some really nice building blocks that make it more than just that revenge film. This is not an easy watch. It's bleak and it's uncomfortable and it's emotionally heavy, and by the time you get to the end of it, you're so emotionally invested that you are shocked with the reveals that happen and what's going on, and you feel emotionally put through the ringer yourself, and that's because you've followed these characters, you understand who they are, you know their place in the world, in this small village, and what they've been doing, and it really has that impact. This Blu-ray is a really strong package. Let's dive in, have a look at some of the on-disc extras, and then we'll talk about some of the other things that come with this. Here we are in the disc for Dead Man's Shoes. Let's go to the extras. First up, we've got a new commentary with the director and producer. We have a commentary with Andrew Graves and John Towlson, and an archival commentary with the director, actor and producer. Quite a journey. An interview with director Shane Meadows and producer Mark Herbert is 32 minutes 10 seconds, and they're talking a lot about, you know, reminiscing on the project. They've obviously knew this package is coming. They've just done the commentary, and it feels like a real confident session of these two people admiring what they did, what brought them to that, and just talking with fondness about the creation process. Next we have A Very Fine Line, an interview with actor Toby Kebbell, which is 26 minutes 25 seconds. Very surprising, a lot of insights into why he chose what he did on the role, the vulnerability that he had while doing it, you know, unsure whether he was doing the right thing or what was working or how to maintain that energy. The Right Horses, we have an interview with actor Gary Stretch, which is 19 minutes 1 second. We have an Make the Impact, an interview with director of photography Danny Cohen. This is 60 minutes 52 seconds. He talks a lot about the very fluid nature of making this film, and the idea that it would, you know, it was a small crew working on film, how they could quickly change things, and they often did. There are deleted and extra scenes which run for 20 minutes 45 seconds. In Shane's Shoes is 25 minutes exactly. It's a behind the scenes of the kind of making of, looking back, and as the film is starting to premiere and the feedback from it. There's a short film, Northern Soul, which is 27 minutes 9 seconds. This was previously on the DVD release of Dead Man's Shoes. Stars Toby Kebbell and Joe Hartley from Dead Man's Shoes as well. Overstays its welcome a little bit at 30 minutes, but it's fun. Then we have Danger Mouse and Gemini music video, and that's the on-disc extras. In addition, there is a 120 page booklet included here as well, with several articles looking at this film in various aspects or its impact or things that impacted it. I've read some of the articles so far and they've been fantastic. I'm going to get into more of them. I was distracted by the graphic novel, which was exceptional, and we'll talk about that where I can show you some of the panels from it as well. That's the extras for Dead Man's Shoes. So as I mentioned, there is a book in this one with lots of great essays, but one of my favourite things in here is just, it's the graphic novel that's included with this one, and I've read half of it just now because I just got this package. I've been devouring it. I watched the movie, loved it, and instantly started reading this, and this adds a whole new level to it. It takes some of the lines of the movie, but changing the context from film to the graphic novel makes some of it really funny, where it probably shouldn't be, but not in a oh, this is hilarious. It's more that it's just funny wrong. And I really love that, and I think that's a great inclusion on this package, which is just fantastic. This film is a standout. It's a masterpiece of British filmmaking. I think it is so impactful. Everything works really well, and it's got some incredible performances, which just have to be seen to be believed. Amazing extras that just bolster and pick up this film, which is already incredible, making this an absolute must-have package. I hope you've picked this up. If not, get on it. It's one of those ones you're going to kick yourself when it sells out, and I imagine it's going to sell out pretty fast. I'd love to know your thoughts on Dead Man's Shoes. Let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.